You know, this is what I love about the ship. It's the Atrium. It's the true heartbeat of the ship. From here, you've got so many things. You've got restaurants, bars, receptions just over there. It's a whole lease of life to the ship. And with the glass lifts as well, well, my goodness, this is a place you'll be going to spend a lot of time.
The ship just oozes space and elegance and really does have a feeling of openness and glamour, with a helpful reception that's open 24 hours a day, making sure your holiday is trouble-free. The moment you step outside, the ship just feels like a great place to holiday, and there's plenty of space for everyone to enjoy the sunshine.
You know, I just love the open decks on board the ship. There are so many different places, from the back deck with the swimming pool and jacuzzis to the 2 swimming pools on main deck and all these wonderful sunbeds. I'm sure one of them's got your name on it.
I think that's mine there.
The one thing that will knock you out about any P&O cruise is the entertainment on board, and it really is special. Some big star names and some that will really surprise you to find out that you've got them on board. This is the Starlight Lounge, and my goodness me, I've had some great entertainment here. I've laughed out loud and I've sang along, and you'll be doing the same too. So I got here a bit early tonight just to get myself a front row seat.
But you don't have to get a front row seat to enjoy the entertainment. There are plenty of great vantage points, and the tiered theatre club, which has waiters bringing you drinks to enjoy the fabulous entertainment as well.
If you'd like to keep up to date with all the latest sports news while you're away on holiday, including the football, the tennis, the golf, this is the place for you. It's Winners, and it's got a great atmosphere about it. Of course, all those things are beamed into your cabin as well, but if you want the whole experience, here it is. But also, of an evening, this is a great venue just to chill out with a cocktail or two as well.
And I must say, this is one of the poshest sports bars I've ever seen. Now, talking of posh, Magnums, the champagne bar, is the place to meet for a cheeky little drink just before your evening meal.
Well, if you want to look up on your next destination or really get in depth in the research, this is the place to head, the library. Well, I've got all the research I need. I'm on my way. One of the great things about being on a P&O cruise holiday is the fact of the choice you have. It's all the things that you love about home as well. Things like branded coffees that you know and love. I don't know whether I have a latte or an Americano. Or maybe the mocha. Choice, choice, choice.
And there is so much choice, making you feel at home on holiday. And there's even a pub on board too. I caught up with the captain, Chris Brown, who has a real affinity to the ship.
I've been at sea for 25 years. 1 year as captain on this ship, the mighty Oceana. I was on this ship, I joined her when she was in the yard, still being built. So I have a real affection for this ship because I feel I've grown up with her. We can go up to a speed of about 21.7 knots, but we like to go at a slower pace and enjoy the sea days and enjoy the sunshine, especially when we're in the Mediterranean. The great thing about the modern cruise ships is that we have side thrusters, and so we can actually turn a ship on the spot, on a sixpence, of course. It is very, very easy to manoeuvre these ships. My favourite cruise to cruise in and out of, especially in the Mediterranean, is Venice, and we are doing that every 2 weeks. We sail into Venice and we see the sun rise as we come in, and then when we sail out, we're sailing just as it's becoming dusk. It's a fantastic sight. Other places around the world, I do enjoy sailing into Sydney. Sydney's fantastic as you go through the heads and then you turn to starboard and you see the Sydney Opera House in front of you. Absolutely fantastic. You can have dinner with the captain on any formal night, and other nights if he's free to eat with you. I would say to anyone who wants to try out cruising that they should come and give it a try. We go to fantastic destinations all around the world.
This is the part of the reef for the smaller children, and they've got everything here, from a pool full of balls, they've got toys you could galore, crafts, art, jigsaws, and do you know what, they've even got dressing up outfits. I could be a fireman or a doctor. The choice
And with clubs for all ages, the kids will love it too. And there's a late night nursery too for the little ones. So if you fancy a late meal or joining in the late night entertainment, it's all there.
One of the great things about any P&O cruise holiday is the retail therapy. There's lots of it going on. I know Laura would love this, but it's just our handbags and clothes. It's the duty-free goods as well that are available, and there's great jewellery too. But it's all here for you to enjoy. Don't let me stop you talking. You go and have a look at it. See you soon. Well, we're on anytime dining, and that means you can turn up anytime you like between 6 and 9:30 and be waiter serviced like this. It's absolutely wonderful. The food is absolutely scrumptious and there's so much choice. But if you don't like the formality of this, there is another choice. There's always the option of the Plaza, which is a buffet, and it's absolutely wonderful. And each night they have a themed night. Tonight, well, it's Mexican night, and that means, well, burritos and the rest. So, come on, let's tuck in, shall we?
I caught up with the food and beverage manager, Jason Pascal, who told me about what's available.
To be honest with you, we actually have 6 restaurants on board Oceana. We have 2 main restaurants, that's the Adriatic and the Ligurian. They are the main dining restaurants, so the Adriatic is our fixed seating. That's you go in if you're assigned to that seating at 6:30 or 8:30. And then we have the Ligurian, which is freedom dining, so you can come at any time between 6 o'clock and 9:30 in the evening. Both of them have identical menus. The menu does change every single day within those restaurants, so you can be here for 7 days, 14 days, 21 days, and every single time that you go into those restaurants for lunch and dinner, then you will be getting a very, very different experience, a full different menu, a full range of starters, soups, main courses and desserts. We also have upstairs in the Plaza, that's our buffet restaurant. That's open from 6 in the morning all the way through until 10:30 at night. And again, we have very different menus that we cater for up there. So you have a breakfast offering, you have a lunch offering, afternoon tea served up there as well. And then in the evening, we have themed concepts up there, such as Indian, Asian, Oriental, Mediterranean, French, etc. So we do have a number of complementary restaurants that we offer throughout the ship. Also, the restaurant that we're in right now, that's Café Jardin, that's one of our select dining outlets, of which we have 2 on board. There's Café Jardin, which is Marco Pierre white restaurant. There's a small cover charge for that, it's £5.25 per person. The food that we're serving in the Café Jardin is anything from pizzas to pasta to sharing platters to wine flights that we have to a very selection of desserts. From years and years of doing this, I mean, don't forget that P&O have been cruising now for the last 177, 178 years. So you build up that historical data and you generally know what people are wanting to have. So lots of things in the main dining room are produced to order. So you've got a whole army of chefs who are there cooking the food, and the orders are coming in quite nice and steadily. So you have time to then prepare all that food. Because if you think in sheer volume terms, we will produce on this ship around 20,000 meals per day. It is run like a military operation. If you see the galleys, it's methodical. It is a military machine. But you have, for example, when you have lobster on the menu in the main dining room, you know that's going to be the front runner. If you have a lamb rack that's on the menu, that's going to be the front runner. And generally, people's behaviours don't generally tend to change. It's been very rare that we've been caught out, and if we do, it's only a matter of minutes before we then catch up. It does. What we tend to do with the menu that's in the main dining room, so we have what we call a menu cycle. So our menu cycle does go up to about 30 days. So if you are cruising for longer than the normal 7 days, 14 days, and so on, the menus will be changing, and as I said, so it changes every day for lunch and dinner. So you are changing that and adapting that as you're going through the season. So you'll put your special menus onto the gala nights, on the formal nights, and doing longer cruising, the reason we have a 30-day cycle is because if you are doing longer cruising, such as World Cruise or something like that, then there will always be that variety as you're going through. And the chefs have full autonomy as well as they're working through those longer cruising cycles to then be introducing new dishes to make them more local, to make them more specific to the countries that we're travelling in. To be honest with you, I mean, you can either tell us in advance, which lots of people now do. If they have a dietary requirement that they tell us in advance, we of course can cater for that anyway. On cruise ships, we're very, very used to catering for dietary requirements. So, I mean, the typical ones that we are used to dealing with is no salt, gluten-free, celiac, diabetic, etc., etc., of which we've got a full range of products that we can change and intermix to make the passenger's experience as good as anyone else's. In recent times, as dietary requirements are becoming much more prevalent, we're actually changing the operations that we have on board the ship anyway. I think the main reason for going on a cruise is you get a nice good sample of the ports that you're going into without having to spend 2 weeks in a place that you perhaps wouldn't enjoy. You're in a different port every day or every second day. The amount of food and drink that we offer on board the ship and the level of service that you get on board a cruise ship, it's just second to none. I didn't cruise myself, having worked on ships for about the last 15 15, 16 years. I didn't cruise myself until I sailed on board Aurora last year as a passenger, and I didn't think I'd like being this side of the fence, and I've got to say I loved it. You meet so many different people, the food and the service is second to none. It's a really, really genuinely good experience. If you want to cruise, then take a holiday to some of these ports. It's the perfect way to do it.
Do you know what? This is one of the best meals I've ever had, and seeing we're off the coast of Italy, you can't not have a taste of Italy, can you? So I've gone for another course. Fantastic. Do you know, one of the problems when you get the dessert menu is there's so many good things on it. I just don't know what to have. It's down to 3. So I'll have all 3. The trio of desserts. Oh, this looks good. It's so lucky there are no calories at sea.
Although the salt air does shrink your clothes. The spa areas of the Oceana have everything you could wish for, from the hair and beauty to those lovely soothing treatments. And just in case some calories do sneak on board, you can soon see them off in the state-of-the-art fitness centre. I asked the entertainment manager, Michael, does anyone get bored?
If they are bored, it's their own fault. Simply put, if people come on board a cruise ship and they're bored, they need to work out what they want to do. Do they just want to sit around reading a book? A lot of people do. A lot of people have a hectic lifestyle back home, and they're working 9 to 5, 6 days a week, and they just want to kick back and relax on a cruise ship. And there's plenty of space on a cruise ship like the Oceana to do that. There are other people that want to be involved. They want to actually meet other people. And that's what I love about it. It's really not just a hotel operation. It really is like a club. And it's meeting like-minded people coming on board a ship. You're meeting people that want to have a bit of fun, and they want to meet people. I noticed that there might be groups of people. Often you'll meet up with another couple, and over a period of time they become very good friends, and they'll go regularly cruising together. But you'll get a lot of people that just come as a couple, and within literally hours they may be sitting down to eat. They're talking to someone straight away. They've got a rapport with them. They find a common interest, and then they're arranging to meet up throughout the cruise. They'll spend the evenings, the daytime together. It's a great way of meeting people, it really is.